Good
Hello.
morning.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, in fact, there's no morning at all. It's 11.
It's morning.
Morning
You look
time?
wonderful in your new, is it new? Your blue jumper?
No, it's Nicholas. Even if he was
But
not
he
born in
wasn't
the
born in the
90s.
90s. You
No, he was
were.
not. And yeah, I was born in the
Cool.
90s.
Yes,
Yeah,
so was
I was
I.
born in the
So was
90s.
I.
But I like this sweater very much. And I used to wear it when he's not at home. But I'm aware of
Mhm.
the fact that he will watch the video. So you'll see that I was wearing
Oh my goodness.
his
My
clothes.
daughter would say, I kill you. I
Uh, but your daughter is 8 and my son is 18. So it's extreme. It's a huge difference, between 8 and 18.
Yes, but I would get into trouble, like big time trouble.
Yeah, if you wear
Hmm.
her stuff.
Oh my gosh, I can't even touch it.
Oh my goodness. But I can touch her stuff. I can touch her stuff.
And you can even touch her, and I'm so
Yeah.
jealous. Oh, that's
Oh,
not
please
fair.
do not be jealous. Do not be jealous. I think
I'm
it's.
just a mommy kind of type of jealous.
Okay. Oh, do you have
Mm.
coffee?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I do not. I do not. I do not.
Wow, why not?
Oh, because I woke up
Hmm.
at 8 and then I drank my cup of coffee, and now maybe I will drink one more coffee when we finish. Just a second.
Mm.
When we finish our class, and
Gosh,
I
are
don't
you
know.
okay?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm okay. I was just eating uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
bread, and there's some small pieces of bread in my throat.
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah, thank
Oi,
you.
oi, oi. Maybe drink some water.
Maybe drink some wine. Why
No, we are not on
are so
holiday.
boring and so obvious? I don't want to drink water. No, no, Monia, 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 Monia,
Yes,
Monia. First
yes,
question.
Ashu.
Free
Yes,
first words, free first thoughts, free first association in English
yes,
when you hear the
yes.
word syndrome.
Syndrome. Three first associations. Yeah, it comes to my mind like ADHD, but that's not a syndrome actually.
Does it? Please do not think. Please do not make the whole story. Just free first association. It's highly important for me now and for our class.
Chaos syndrome
Okay.
and workaholic syndrome.
Okay.
I
And
just
free
invented that.
free
Oh
first.
my goodness, I have
Okay.
to write it down.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And free first words, free first associations when you hear the word disease. Disease.
Weak, weak,
Okay. I like it. Okay.
lack of energy,
Okay.
lost.
Okay, and free first association in Poland, in Polish, when you hear the word zespół.
Like the Down syndrome, zespół Downa comes to my mind. Mm, why didn't you prepare me for this lesson? It's
Because
like
it's
I am the one
because
who's supposed to shock, not you.
but it's not
Syndrome
now at this very moment. It's not a kind of language.
test.
It is a kind of language experiment, but just to show something for me and just to realize something.
Yes, of
I
course.
want to check
I'm
something.
fine with that.
Because I cannot check it with other people, and of course I've been thinking about our class and about our topic for the whole night and the whole morning, even
Oh,
if I'm
okay.
sleeping
Yes.
very well. And I have so many notes and so many thoughts in my head, so notes in my notebook and thoughts in my head, and now I need
Mhm.
the most important thing I need at this very moment is your thoughts when you in Polish kiedy słyszysz zespół. Tak,
Yeah,
zespół.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to focus on our topic, yeah?
No, just yeah, my goodness. Having experiments is
Yeah,
really
okay.
hard work, you
I
know.
know, because I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying.
Please do not be a good student. Please just,
But I have to
just
be,
react. Just react.
Syndrome.
Free first thoughts.
Bezsenności,
Okay.
alienacji.
Okay, and now please ask me, because I was not thinking about it. It's just my, quick shot. Just ask me about two first questions I asked you.
Okay, so please give me the first three words that come to your mind with regard to the word syndrome. Was it syndrome? Syndrome, yes.
Cecha, pojedynczość, złamanie.
Oh, wow.
But in Polish, I'm sorry, in Polish, I have no
but that
idea
was
why.
syndrome, sure, that
They
was
just
fine.
came to my mind.
And then in English?
In English, syndrome, something straight, go forward, and stuck.
Okay.
No idea why. When I hear syndrome, even if I know, even if I'm aware of all of this, Down syndrome, Asperger's syndromes, etc. But first thoughts, when I hear syndrome, something stuck. Even if it's going forward, but it's stuck. It's maybe it's something which is depressed, which is pressed, which is maybe I don't know, inside. In a kind of maybe arrested. I have no why, but my first thoughts, but that's the and when I hear, for example, disease.
Yeah, disease, exactly what comes to your mind, yeah? I don't even remember what I said now.
So
what? Stuck again?
Yeah.
Layered,
depressed.
Okay.
So something similar. I asked you about these questions because I realized, I don't know, maybe I realized it in maybe 30 minutes.
When in the last 30 minutes?
Yeah, before our class, yeah.
Okay.
C-PTSD, or maybe just starting from PTSD. So PTSD, so post-traumatic stress disorder. In Polish, you have zespół stresu pourazowego.
Yes. And what is an uraz? Yeah, zespół.
Tak, zespół stresu pourazowego. When I hear zespół, my first association is grupa, lider, dużo ludzi, zabawa, biegamy, ruch, ale generalnie grupa.
Yeah, something big.
Yeah. And now you have C-PTSD. And I've just checked the Polish translation.
Kompleksowy zespół.
It's złożony zespół stresu pourazowego. To jest złożony zespół. Znaczy first you have zespół, znaczy you have something which is very złożone. Znaczy it's already złożone.
Yeah.
And now you have złożone once again.
With the zespół. Yeah. So it's overlapping.
Zespół is something, co jest złożone. Because zespół contains, I don't know, many... okay, it doesn't mean that you have to have many people, but at least 3. Yeah? So it's złożone z ludzi. Tak? Na przykład z ludzi, ze zwierząt. Zespół może być złożony, so it's a kind of team. Zespół, it's a kind of team. It's a kind of set of something. And but in English you have disease, so you have a very specific word which means very specific, which leads you and which refers to a very specific part of the reality. It's a disease or disorder. No, it's not disease. It's a disorder.
Yeah.
So you have order and disorder. Order, disorder.
Now I have got your question in mind from yesterday. Okay.
Yes. So order and disorder. So you have something which is, which you can explain, which you can observe, which is normal. I say normal because it's usually observed, is common. So it's very common, for example, for our society. So it's a kind of order, because when we think about language and naming things, naming realities, naming our environment and all of these elements in our environment, we try to use the most appropriate word, and each word has its sound
Meaning, of
version.
course.
So, for example, order and the reality which is referring to the word. So, for example, I say order, and now I can show you what does order mean. So it's a line of things which I don't know, which one refers to the other, etc., etc. But when you have this order, it means that there is something, in a chaotic way, or there's something maybe not missing, but there's something strange in the order, because you have this order, this is, etc.
Clear.
But when you have zespół stresu pourazowego, you have a set of disorders or a set of diseases, in fact, because you have a set.
But it's actually a set of stresses, right? Because it's a set of stresses. So it's not even, it's like misinterpreted, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and so this morning when I woke up,
I like these eureka moments, it's like,
that's the reason we have to have our classes every day, because because I have to, when I wake up, I have to think about our class, because then I have a kind of revelation,
Yes, that's amazing.
Silver line,
wow.
now I understand something. So, but the point, so coming back to the point. So,
Bravo. Yes.
I realized that this morning, yes, I realized this morning that there is a huge gap between the language of the scientific language and of, for example, therapists, scientists, etc., and the customers, I can say, language. So patients' language, so my language. And I realize it because, I listened, I think that I went through Phoebe's speech about toxic shame and abandonment, etc., for, I don't know, 10, 15 times.
Wow.
And I was wondering, why?
Yesterday to today?
No, for the
in general,
whole month.
okay.
Yeah. And I was wondering, and there was something missing in my head. I mean, there are a lot of things missing in my head, but one of them.
If I may, my head also is not complete, so. Yeah.
Thank you. You are so supportive for me. Okay, but coming back to the point.
Nobody's perfect, yes.
But coming to the point, I was wondering why do I understand her, even if she's speaking English, even if she uses so many, scientific terms. Why do I understand her, but I do not understand therapeutical books? And it was a kind of, why? What's wrong with my head that I can understand her, even if, sometimes I have to check a word, or sometimes from time to time, very often, because sometimes she uses really difficult words for me, or maybe uncommon words. But I understand what she's talking about.
Yeah, where she's coming from. Yeah, where she's coming from.
When it comes to scientific books, or even, therapeutical books, I'm reading all of these books, and I feel like an alien.
Yeah, like you're lost, but I get your feeling. I mean, I'm sure many of us experience that. Yeah,
I should understand all of this stuff, because so my profession is stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
So,
That's what you do for a living.
so
That's
my
what you get
profession
paid
is
for.
to write, read, explain,
Mm-hmm.
study, teach, etc. And I read all of these books, and I fucking understand each fucking word, but I do not understand the idea. And even if the book is so highly understandable, so highly, I don't know, it's absolutely easy to understand. It's written in in this, in Polish you have język popularno-naukowy. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know in English. So this very so
Like popular science, yeah?
yeah, popular science language, or even popular
Mm-hmm.
language, so I should understand it, but I do not understand the word. For example,
Yes.
and now I have my examples.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I do not understand the inner child.
Ah,
I do not understand setting boundaries. I do not understand, once again, terapia schematów, no idea.
ah, okay.
I don't know. No, I do not. So I do not understand. But for example, when it comes to Phoebe's channel, when
Mm-hmm.
she talks about inner child, it's something. And I was listening to this speech yesterday, and
Yes,
maybe that's because I realized it this morning. So
that's
she
good.
said, "Okay, inner child, you can find." Uh, she loves this word plethora too. So you
Yeah.
can find a plethora of definition, of course, on the Wikipedia, therapeutic books, I don't know, books for students, etc. But what do I mean? So uh, um, what I'm thinking about when
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying inner child, you know
Mm-hmm.
and I could feel in her sentence that she does not, maybe not that she does not agree with this term image, but that she did have a kind of problem with this term, and
Okay.
one more speech of Phoebe. He has a
Yeah.
great speech about setting boundaries.
Okay. So are
And
you delicately telling me, Monica, please watch it for homework or?
no, no, I'm not going to give you so many homeworks, maybe 10 or 15.
Ah,
Nothing.
15.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
Uh-huh.
absolutely not. But for example,
Okay.
she said something like that. I did not understand the word. No, when I was on my therapy and when I was working with my therapist, both with my
Mm-hmm.
therapist and along with books, etc., I was not
Mm-hmm.
able to understand what does it mean setting boundaries. And then she explains the whole path, the whole story, how she was discovering what does it
Ah.
mean setting
Mm-hmm.
boundaries. And I do not
Mm-hmm.
understand this term setting boundaries too, because from my point of view as a complex PTSD responder,
Survivor.
yeah, it's
Fighter.
it's a it's something understandable, not
Mm-hmm.
understandable, it's something strange.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
like awkward, like,
yeah, and then this morning I realized that there is a
yes.
huge gap between the scientific language, on either popular scientific language, on and the language of the client. So the client's language, the sufferer's language.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe because we are not loud enough, maybe we do not speak enough, maybe we are
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed by the whole scientific language, maybe we are
Probably, yeah.
overwhelmed by the
Mm-hmm.
whole terminology. And now I feel overwhelmed by the term that I'm suffering from, złożony zespół stresu pourazowego. Oh my goodness, I'm so sick. I will die for sure in 5 days time,
Just, yeah, just hearing that can kind of, yeah, lead to
Yeah,
depression, yeah?
zespół, it's
Mm-hmm.
something overwhelming. So I have a zespół. So I have a set of diseases, a set of syndromes, a set of problems, a set of, nie znam, shit, double shit. but now I have a złożony zespół. I don't want to have złożony zespół because it's something like cofnąć się w tył w miesiącu marcu, etc. Because zespół jest po prostu złożony z czegoś. A now on jest złożony, mimo tego, że on już jest złożony.
Yeah, so it's double.
So it's double. So now I'm not a double person. I'm a single person. I'm Muslim. It's in Serbian. So when I'm furious or maybe when I'm talking too fast and I'm just switching on Serbian, it's easier for me and it shows my my emotions in a better way. That's the reason I think that speaking many languages, it's so helpful for us because there is no single language when you can express all your emotions, thoughts, feelings, and everything. Okay, but coming back to the point.
Yes.
Coming back to the point.
Yes.
Just a second. Okay, so coming back to the point. Because now, in fact, we should talk about the process of cognitive healing.
Okay.
But yesterday we started with the subject of toxic shame or shame and toxic shame.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was thinking about this subject too. The problem is that I'm still I cannot stop my thoughts. And
that's what happens when you are in this eureka phase, that's like it's unstoppable.
Eureka phase? Aha, eureka phase. Maybe you think so, but
yeah, because you are in this mode of trying to dig deeper, trying to understand, and it's like, I mean, you've read 3 books or 2 books, right? Because you read this one too. You have read this one.
I've been in this mode since I remember. I'm still.
Yes.
I've been suffering from this mode at the beginning of my memory.
I understand, but like now you are kind of on the verge of discovering something.
Virgin.
No, on the verge is like imagine there's a cliff and like you're on the verge of.
The verge of the cliff. Okay.
There's you can kind of fall in down here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know how to show it. Okay, so there's like,
please show me.
And you're like on the verge.
Yeah, I understand.
Either you fall or you fly.
Okay, I want to fly. Oh, I will show you something.
That's why you're flying now.
I want to tell you something.
Tell me. Which book should I refer to?
Please don't disturb me. Don't interrupt me. Please listen to me.
I am.
No, I love you. I love you. So, but I want to use one word, very sophisticated.
Give it to me. I'm waiting patiently. I'll take her.
My friend Eve gave this word to me a few days ago. Where is this word? Eve, where are you? Eve, where are you? Eve for sure is listening our speech because always listens our speech.
But we are a bit disappointed. We haven't received any answer from her. So I'm disappointed,
Where is this? Where is my? Okay. I got it. Okay. So the drama of the gifted child, and the word is this morning. So this
you mean this one here?
30 minutes before our class. It was a kind of serendipity.
Wow. Okay.
Do you like this word, serendipity?
Yes.
I like it. Eve told me that it's a good word and that I should use this word. And now she is for sure very proud of me because I wrote it down here. And this morning, when I realized this huge gap between customers' language, so sufferers' language, so survivors' language, inner language, because we are not allowed to speak because we are just customers, we are just sufferers. So if you are not a therapist, you do not have the legal right of talking about all of this scientific stuff. That's because I'm sick of the whole science. Maybe because I work at the university. Maybe that's the reason. Okay, but coming back to the point, coming back to
We
the
have to
point. Yeah,
cut.
So cutting. So when I realized this huge gap, and I realized that my inner language about my problem, even if it is disorder or zespół or syndrome or whatever,
Whatever, yeah.
yeah, and I was standing next to my TV set, and I don't know why, but I just had a look at the shelf next
Behind
to
the TV.
yeah, and then I saw I saw I
What?
saw
Ooh, a plane. Okay. How did
a
it get there?
plane, a plane. So the verge. So now when you said the verge, that I'm standing on the verge, so I can. Oh,
Exactly.
I I have a
Ta-da!
plane. I have a plane, and I got a
Good.
plane from my son because during the weekend there was a kind of party. You know something about the party, yeah.
Better to wrap it out, delete that from your memory.
Yeah, and so there was a party here, and I asked my son now via messenger, Nicola, is that yours? So because no idea about the plane, and he said yes, it's party memory. It's a
Oopsie.
part of our party memory. So
Souvenir.
I like this plane, and I will have this plane now, and I will
It's yours.
be a kind of my I don't know, amulet,
And more like a charm.
charm, like a
Charm.
charm.
But it's a
I
bit
like.
too big. Are you gonna wear it here or?
No, I wear only charms from Sophia, so
Yeah,
only
yeah. Little
Sophia's
balloon
charms.
box.
Only Sophia's charms. I am
Okay.
wearing only Sophia's charms, but this one
Okay.
I think I can put on the jak się mówi, żyrandol? Lamp? On the lamp?
Yeah, on the chandelier. It's from French.
Chandelier. Wow, generous chandelier.
Mm. A
You
lot of things
so
from
many
French in English.
sophisticated
Yeah,
words in English. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. So I will do it now just I have just promised. So
Oh
now,
wow. Okay.
okay, we will do it. We will do it. Not because I'm bypassing the main subject.
No, of course you're not. I would never
But
ever
I want
that
to
would
show
never ever come
you
to my
that
mind.
that's true.
Yes.
Jak,
Here.
jak się nazywa? O,
I know, but that's a lamp. It's not a
chandelier.
no, it's not a chandelier because the chandelier is the one with the crystals, you know?
Oh no, I do not have crystal chandeliers. Oh,
Chandelier, yeah. Okay.
what do you think?
Perfect.
Perfect. It's a perfect
Every
plane.
day when you
It's a
come down the
plane.
stairs to your kitchen, you will see that plane and you will see
Of
that you
course,
have to move
I'm
to new levels.
flying. That I'm flying. Yeah, I'm not going
Yes.
to fall down from the
No.
verge. I'm going to catch my plane and go
Very good. Up. You're going to soar into the sky.
soar, soar into
Cool.
the sky. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. I like it
Yay.
very much. I hope my son will agree. And okay,
Will not
maybe I
protest
will not
against
tell
it.
him that. He will
No.
not notice it. He will not
No.
notice it. He
No.
is so music oriented and other stuff. Okay,
Yeah, he's
cut.
a teenager. Forgive him. Yes.
Yeah, so just cut. So just cut. So
Yeah. Coming back.
yeah, coming back to the point.
Yes.
I thought it was important to talk about the huge gap between our so sufferers language and scientific language, because I
Scientific.
feel yeah,
Mm-hmm.
scientific
Mm-hmm.
language, because for example, when I was reading Pete Walker's books, I could feel that that he's writing according to my expectations. So not maybe expectations from the scientific point of view, but that his scientific and maybe not that his therapeutical language
Therapeutic, yeah.
Therapeutic language is
Mm-hmm.
understandable. So I do
Mm-hmm.
understand his language, even if he uses many sophisticated scientific words. But when he has to use a scientific word and he is not agree with this word, so he feels inside that there's something missing in this term. He always proposes his own term, his own
Yeah.
way of explanation, and I like it very much.
Because they're
And
simpler, they're like more down to earth, right? They're
yeah,
not like
absolutely.
taken from a
Mhm.
dictionary or from an encyclopedia.
Yeah, and when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to John Bradshaw's book, unfortunately, I have only
Oh.
one of his books. So, the shame that binds you, a toxic shame that,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, that binds you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this book only in Polish. And
Ah, yeah, yeah. We have to buy it in
when I
English,
read
yeah?
and when I read this book in Polish, I was aware of the fact that it's a great book and that I like it very much. But there was something
Mm-hmm.
again. There was something strange in. And then yesterday, when I downloaded just a few passus.
Pa-
Mm,
chapters,
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 not chapters, just akapity,
paragraphs. Yeah, yeah.
paragraphs, passuses. Oh my goodness,
It's close. It starts with a P. A. Paragraphs.
okay,
Like
paragraphs,
paragliding. Paragliding.
paragraphs, passuses, paragraphs. I
Yes.
realized that I do prefer reading in English because I do understand, even if I don't understand each word. But I
Please,
do.
please, we don't need the PS dot, but I don't. It's like, let's focus on the good stuff. You understand it.
But I am okay. Yeah, but the point is that
Yes.
there is something strange in each translation, even if
Mm-hmm.
I've graduated, philology, and I am kind of translator.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to this very specific stuff, so when it comes to suffering,
C-PTSD. Yeah,
when
yeah.
it comes to diseases, when it comes to illnesses, when it comes to you as a person, as a sufferer, as a rescuer, as a
Rescuer.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as a, survivor. Each
Mm-hmm.
term and each word is crucial for you, and when
Yes.
you do not understand at the core,
Mm-hmm.
it will be misunderstand it will be misleading for you, and you will feel,
Mm-hmm.
again perplexed, again hopeless, again unlovable, etc. Because
Mm-hmm.
people with CPTSD, they are still in a kind of, as we just said, so in a kind of thoughts production. So Pete Walker, in one of his chapters, says that the most disturbing thing in
Mm-hmm.
CPTSD survivors' heads is the thing that we are still thinking non-stop, with no there is no stop of thinking. Even if we are
Mm-hmm.
sleeping, we are thinking, and because we were talking about it, I think 2 weeks ago, that
Yeah.
we're still thinking that we are in a danger, so we are still frightened. We
Yes,
still,
because you're in this mode of alertness all the time,
yeah,
right? It's like,
very high, yeah. and uh,
mm-hmm.
and because, and now we are coming back to the point, because
Wow, yes.
the level of shame is not only high, because it's a one thing that you have a high level of shame, but not only you have, and I wrote it down. No, I just coined the term this morning
Give it
waiting
to
for
me. Give
you.
it to me.
So it's a redundant or
Redundant.
superfluous, yeah, shame. And I will explain you why redundant shame, zbędny, nadwyżkowy, też
Like, you
przeszkadzający,
know what? In English, we
disturbing.
have, just to explain the word to be made redundant, that means that you're fired from work. So the company doesn't need you anymore.
Yes, I do not need this shame anymore. Is it
That's
okay?
what I'm saying. So the shame is fired. The shame is fired.
Yes, but
there's
it's
the door
here. So please imagine that you have just fired someone, but he is still here. And what the hell are you doing here? What the hell are you doing? Oh, I like you so much, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, Monica. I have just removed you. I'm sorry.
No, I'm here.
Okay. But I will tell you why.
Yes.
Because yesterday, when we finished our meeting, I was thinking about that there was something missing. And of course, I'm always missing something.
No, you're not.
So when you have this healthy shame, or maybe not. At the beginning, we should, even if we have only 25 minutes to the end of our meeting, well, I will try to finish it. I will try to finish my thought. I will try
Go
to
for it.
the whole idea.
Go.
Coming back to the point, every emotion was designed or was evaluated, or I don't know, everything. So was created because it's important. So every emotion is highly important, and every emotion is created for something. So every emotion, when you feel, for example, sadness, anger, joy, excitement, etc., shame, you are feeling this emotion because it will help you. It has to help you with your life inside between social boundaries. We mustn't forget, as we said yesterday, we mustn't forget that we are mammals, that we need social group, that without the social group, we are not able to survive.
No.
And there are, of course, many books, many scientific works, but not only many, just and you have so, jak się mówi, że, okay, there are so many works, both scientific and artistic works, about the rejection, that the most dangerous thing for each person is being rejected.
Okay.
And the point is that shame is the emotion which alerts you that there is a possibility of being rejected.
Yeah.
So you've just made something, you've just done, you've just, created something. And that's the possible reason of being rejected by your social group. And each person, me, you, we are extremely afraid. We are frightened of being rejected, even if we do not realize it. But it's highly adaptive and is highly helpful to understand it. So to discover the inner true story, not false story, but true story about our biology, about our body and our mind. Please help me with the word organism, żebym nie mówiła ciągle, I don't want to separate body and mind. So I do prefer using in
organism.
Organism.
Yeah, we can also call it a unity or
unity.
Because our body and mind, it's like a unit, right? It's a complete complex
organism, unity.
Yeah.
Okay. So even if
or
we
entity, like a body.
Okay. So even if we do not realize that that we are extremely afraid of being rejected, that's
Yeah.
the first thing, or maybe one of the first thing we have to realize. Because when we are aware of the fact that in fact we are extremely afraid of being rejected, then we will understand many of our actions, many of our
Fear-based. Yeah, yeah.
decisions. Yeah. That I've just made this very specific decision because at the core I was extremely afraid of being rejected, of course,
Yeah.
of being rejected by my community at work, at home, my neighbors, maybe people at the bank. We have so many different social groups, and we are each day we are playing so many roles.
Yes.
We are mothers, fathers, lovers, students, professors, butchers. I have no idea why butchers now, but
Butcher.
butchers, yeah,
Yeah.
and people who speak English language, people who have long hair, etc. So many groups, and we are highly afraid of being rejected. Of course, there are many groups which maybe I can name that as safe groups, which mean that I do not care if I am rejected by the group, because
But
it's
that's not true. At the
not
core,
important. At the core, I am. But as a child, you have the one and only group. So it's your family, and in your family, you have the one and only mother, and your caregiver. Let's
yeah,
say
because
caregivers,
sometimes, yeah, more
yeah.
general.
And each behavior, when you feel that they reject your feeling, you
Yeah,
are afraid that you will be rejected. And that's the point when the toxic shame is forming, when the toxic shame is creating, when is the starting point of the toxic shame.
yeah.
So when I look at you, and because I've just done something, for example, and now I feel that I'm so angry, or I'm so sad, and I'm so furious, but you look at me with disgust, then I understand, and I'm telling me
Myself, yeah.
myself story, yeah, my story, that I'm disgusted, that I am disgusted, uh,
Disgusting.
disgusting. So
Or are
that
you
I'm not
disgusted?
being
Wait,
disgusted.
wait,
Uh-huh.
wait. Yeah, let's
Okay,
clarify.
doesn't matter.
No, it's actually very important if
Yeah,
you are disgusted or if you are disgusting, because those
disgusted. So
are
disgusted.
disgusted yourself by your own behavior.
Yeah, and my mother, uh, for
Is
example,
disgusted.
is disgusted by
So
my
it's like
feeling.
action reaction,
Yeah.
disgusted, and then versus disgusted me. I am disgusted
Okay.
because of my own behavior. Yes, is that because I just want to clarify to understand correctly.
Okay.
Like, the action, the passive and the active, yeah, voice.
So what I wanted to say was that when I look at you and I see the rejection in your face, and that you reject my feeling, so for example my anger, then I feel that I am being disgusted.
You are being disgusting then.
Disgusting. Okay, so that I'm
I
being
think,
disgusting.
I think,
Okay,
because
okay, that
yeah.
I'm being disgusting. Okay,
Hmm?
and then I feel shame, but
Okay.
and I couldn't, I had this problem with understanding toxic I understand the difference between toxic shame and healthy shame, but I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand the starting point. And this morning,
Okay. Yes.
again,
Yes.
this morning, so we
Plain.
have our classes every day. And this morning, I realized that it's just redundant shame. That's just a fake shame. So
Yeah.
this shame exists. This shame exists, but it's redundant. Jest po prostu jest zbędny. Fuck
Yeah, yeah,
off.
yeah.
No,
I got
it's
it. I got it. I
redundant.
wrote it down.
So when I just made something bad, I feel the shame, just shame, and it's maybe not okay, it's half shame, but maybe in my terminology, it will be just useful shame, helpful shame. It's my
Yes,
helpful
because as
shame.
you said yesterday,
Because
right? It's
yes,
we
because
have also the good
every
shame.
emotion was created, was designed, was made because it has to help you. It was designed for helping you. So it's a shame which is which will help you. So it's my helpful shame. But
Yes.
when I feel a disgust in your eyes, that I'm starting to feel the not the helpful shame, but the disturbing shame.
Oh yeah.
So the redundant
But
shame.
that's because it's under the manipulation of someone else.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the starting point of the fake story of
The fake
of
narrative, exactly.
fake narrative. That's the starting point of the story, which exists as a story, but the reality doesn't exist. And how we and I was thinking
That's
about
good point. That's a
and
good
this
point,
morning
Asha.
again, yeah, and this morning again, because this morning I had a
Was
plethora.
one of the best days ever.
Yeah, I was thinking about, okay, but where's the switch which will
Yeah.
help me in the process of recognizing which story is the true story and which story is the fake story, the first story. And it's easy. It's the
No.
it's the easiest thing ever, but
Tell me.
we
Tell
have a
me.
huge problem. We do not understand the language of our entity, because we
Ah,
have many languages. We
okay.
as human beings speak
Uh-huh.
a plethora of languages, a set of languages, a syndrome of languages. You know,
Yes, like
unit
you
of
were talking, we were
languages.
talking about it yesterday. Uh-huh.
Yes, but and one of the most important, but one of the most abundant languages
Yeah.
is the language of our human being, is the language of our organism,
Yeah,
organized entity,
body.
not only body but the mind
Oh,
too. It's
okay.
I don't want to split it. I don't want to
Okay.
split these two
Yeah, you're right.
things. I
Uh-huh.
don't want to separate, because we are filled, and I'm sick of the separation. You know, we are an entity. We are together. There is no there is no gap between our mind
Division.
and
Yeah,
our
yeah.
body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, our
Mm-hmm.
brain is in our uh, lo, lo,
Lobes,
no,
spheres.
yeah,
Spheres?
yeah.
Okay.
Somebody czaszka.
Oh, skull.
Scalp. Nie ma
Skull.
coś
Yeah.
lob.
Lobes, that's inside the brain.
Okay, okay. So scope. So it's
Skull.
inside.
S-K. Yes, skull. Mm-hmm.
It's a part of our body.
Yes.
Neurons are parts of our body.
Yes, they
Why
are.
do we divide? Why we make this?
I
Why
know
we
why.
split?
I know why. Can I say why? Because
Yes,
people like to
you
make something
can.
more
If
complicated
you
than it is.
want so strong, you can. Even if I do not have enough time for listening to you.
Yes, you do. Don't worry, you'll finish. In time, we can extend it by a few
No,
minutes. It's not a
I'm
problem.
kidding.
Yeah, I know you
Yes.
are, but like people like to make things more difficult than they are. That's why. So
Yeah.
it's like we need it. Okay, so we have a human body. So now let's think scientists, let's say. So you are going to be a biologist, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. So humans had to come and make it more complex and complicated than it really is.
But it's so easy. So we are a unit. We
Yes,
are
we are.
unit. And as a unit, we need every emotion, absolutely.
Yes.
We need shame. We need shame, absolutely.
Of course.
But what is for me extremely, wonderful, gorgeous, overtly, but overtly traumatic for me
Aha.
too,
Yes. What?
is that uh, do, when we are growing up,
Mm-hmm.
we do not learn
Mm-hmm.
uh, the human language, so the language of our entity, the language of our organism.
Yeah.
But during the therapy, when you have a good therapist, so it's highly important, and maybe it's a
Mm-hmm.
good idea one day in when we will be retired, to
Which is never going to happen, you know.
yeah, of course, because we will be young, and young forever, young.
Very, very young. Yeah.
Yeah, coming to the point, one day I want to have a meeting, an English class, about what does it mean a good
Yes.
therapist and a toxic therapist, so redundant therapist, because it's a very tricky thing. And I met so many people which think that they are therapists, but they are maybe therapists for themselves. So they recover and they heal their own mental problems with their uh, patients. And I think it's a good idea.
Sure, we're getting on some, like quicksand because it's
Yeah, it's
a very
important.
slippery topic.
Yeah, but important topic.
Of
Even if
course.
something is slippery or or difficult, or
A minefield is like kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. You know,
yeah,
minefield? Yeah.
bumbling, bumbling. But if it's bumbling in my head, it means
Babbling, yes.
it's important. It was a
Of
word
course it
about
is.
3 weeks ago, bumbling in my head. I remember everything, even if sometimes I make mistakes.
No, I am
Okay.
so jealous. My memory is so bad recently. Sure. But just a side remark, in Japan, there
Uh-huh.
is no word for pension, like pensioner or to retire.
Yeah, because
They
they
don't have a
work
word
for
like
the,
that.
yeah, there's no
What
need
for?
to have this word. Yes, when there's no need, when there is no reality, there is no word. So if there is no, for example, when there were no artificial tears, there were no word artificial tear. But now when we have the syndrome and problems with our eyes and tears, then we have artificial tears.
Yeah,
It's
but that's a remedy that's supposed to help you, right? But like,
this is
who
but I'm
invented
talking about
retirement?
words, that
Yeah, yeah, of course.
before we had just tears and now we have artificial tears. 100 years ago, I suppose there was no artificial tears, maybe only in the poems or literature and all of this stuff.
Stuff.
Not in the folk songs. There are no artificial tears.
Okay.
Okay, but
Yeah.
coming back to the point.
Yes. You said that we do not learn how to read the language of our
Yes,
entity.
but when we have a good therapist and when we want to learn the language, we will learn the language during, for example, the therapy, during the whole process of therapy. In fact, one of these few paths is just learning learning your own language, so the language of your entity. And when you realized that you understand the language, then you are absolutely aware of the fact which story is a fake story and which story is a true story. And it's very easy to recognize. For example, for example, 6 years ago, for me, it was absolutely impossible to recognize. Now, I'm aware of the fact that from time to time I have this problem with recognizing, but usually now, very often, I recognize the moment when the story is just a fake story. For example, and it's linked to, and it refers to addictions too, but it's a story for maybe for our next meeting.
Yeah.
When
You know what,
so
Ashula, just quickly look. This book, excuse me, has 385 pages. So I'm afraid that we don't have enough days in the week to be able to cover this complex.
I think that when we explain, or when we go through the main terms, words, and problems, then we just go like that.
Boom, boom,
Boom.
go like thunder.
But
Okay.
first, we have to explain all of this stuff. So, because we are just very close to the end, every redundant shame, uh, which means every emotion which was rejected by your caregivers, every emotion which was rejected by your caregivers, and it's my point of view, and it's my, idea, etc., was settled at the bottom of your self, like a coffee ground, like coffee grounds.
Ground coffee, you mean at the
Coffee
bottom?
at the
Ground
bottom.
coffee beans, yeah, when you ground
No,
coffee?
no beans. Chciałam powiedzieć fusy. Jak
Yeah,
fusy się
grounded coffee. Yeah.
coffee grounds.
Grounded coffee.
Grounded coffee. So, for example, when you feel an emotion, for example, anger or sadness, and I feel, and you, as my caregiver, you accept this emotion, you name this emotion, and you explain me that, for example, when you feel this emotion, it means that you feel sadness, you are sad, and that's the way how we cooperate, how we deal, how we manage it. But when I feel sadness, when I'm sad and I feel you and I see your rejection, that you reject my emotion, this emotion is stuck in my entity. It's like coffee grounded, it's like, and it's a layer and next layer of many rejected emotions. So because we are extremely afraid of being rejected, so each moment during our childhood when when our single emotion was rejected is the moment when a kind of English is when this emotion was fossilized, and it's still here. It's still here. It's still inside, but it's fossilized. But if it's still here, it means that the entity, that the organism will do everything it can. So she can to show this emotion because it's too much.
Yeah.
And that's the starting point of creating, of forming, of giving the birth to your inner child.
Wow.
Your
You know,
inner
I'm
child,
so grateful that you are recording these lessons
yeah.
because there are so many
But the inner child, in
complex
fact,
thoughts.
the inner
Yes.
child, yeah, when you are an adult, and you do not have to have a need for having an inner child, but you have an inner child because the inner child is the child created by the fossilized emotion, rejected emotions.
Amazing.
And our job our job is, as an adult, my
Yeah.
job is to find all of these fossilized emotions and to show them, and then I can, for example, keep them in the museum, So for example, I can read about them, I can paint them, I can write stories about them, I can record classes about them, but I've just found them. They are not inside. And
Bravo.
just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
imagine how many kilograms, how heavy you are.
What a big burden.
What a big, inside. And your inner child is created by all of these rejected emotions. But it's my idea, and maybe I'm absolutely wrong.
No,
Maybe it's not
I don't
true.
think so.
But after so many speeches, etc., books, that's the language. That's all of these words, how I understand it, even if it's maybe not scientific way of explaining, but I feel it at this very specific way. And that's the end of our class. Yes, I was waiting for the end for the whole hour, because
Why?
you are so boring, teacher.
I'm such a boring teacher. Now I have to feel shame.
Yes, but it's a redundant shame.
Yeah,
It's a
okay, so I'm just
redundant
going to
shame.
kick it out of the window now.
What do you like more, redundant or superfluous? Superfluous.
No, redundant is simple, and
Okay.
it's very like it triggers your imagination, so you can actually, like, if you know the word redundancy, so yeah, it means being fired, so it's a perfect word, perfect fit.
Thank you very much, Monia.
Thank you. I have to thank you.
It was a pleasure to have a meeting with you.
As
And I
always.
hope one day we will have meetings every day except weekends.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
One day,
you never know.
One day when you have time and time. Yeah. And will. Thank you.
The will is
Have a
here
nice
always.
day.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
See you at 5.